my favorite Quentin Tarantino film, and that is the opening, the brilliant opening to Inglorious Basterds. Yes. So look, Tarantino for me can be a little bit up and down. It depends on the film. But I do think that Inglorious Basterds was his peak, and he's just does such a great job. So this opening scene is a masterclass in tension, like just, oh my God, it's amazing. So we open on this field in France, and there is this farmer, Monsieur Lapetite, and he is outside with his daughters. And then they see this Nazi party coming. They see this car coming. And so he turns and he tells his daughters to go back in the house, and he gets himself ready to greet this Nazi who's coming to his door. And we meet our villain of the movie, Colonel Hans Landa, who is played by the brilliant Christoph Waltz. A little fun fact for this movie, the character of Hans Landa needed to speak 5 languages fluently, and Tarantino was getting to the point where he didn't know if he could even cast the role, and then Christoph Waltz came in and he could speak these 5 languages perfectly. So he is so good. So he comes into this house and he introduces himself as this Nazi, Hans Landa, like, oh, we're looking for Jews in the area, and we heard that there was a Jewish family, the Dreyfuses, that lived near here. Can we come inside and talk about this? So, of course, you're already feeling tense because it's a Nazi, obviously, in someone's house. So he goes inside, and him and Monsieur Lapetite, they talk in French, and they talk, just about, what's going on in the world and everything. And at one point, there's this great moment where Lapetite is smoking a pipe, and Landa's like, oh, do you mind if I smoke my pipe? And he pulls out this massive, like, ornate pipe, like, it's just brilliant. And then, as the conversation continues, we start to realize, okay, this family, he knows where they are. This Lapetite guy, he knows where this family is. And as we continue the scene, we get the revelation that the family is hiding under his floorboards. So that's when we really suddenly start, oh my God, what is going to happen? Then Landa says to Monsieur Lapetite, he says, I've exhausted my French. May I switch to English? And you know that he's done that so that, and as soon as he says that, you're like, oh my God, he knows that they're there. And then you get this, it's actually the guy who plays Monsieur Lapetite is so good because they have this beautiful long shot on him as Landa is talking, and you can just see his face crumbling as he realizes that he knows that they know that this family is here and that this isn't going to end well for him. Then Landa stands up and says in French, thank you for your hospitality. We shall be going now. Gets everyone out of the house. And then the soldiers come in and machine gun the floor. And it's horrific because it is Tarantino. But then we see one girl escape, and she goes on to be our protagonist, Shoshana. And as she's running, Landa is calling after her, and he kind of puts up his pistol as if to shoot her, then realize, nope, I'll let her go. And he says, au revoir, Shoshana. And then we get the title card. But like I said, it is 15 minutes of pure tension, because and Landa knows that he knows that these guys are there, and it's just watching the poor farmer just break down, and you think this person must be such a good person to be hiding this family in the first place, to be trying to do the right thing. And yeah, it's such a great opening. I'm sorry that I had to spoil it a little bit because it will take away the impact when you watch it for the first time, but just such a strong opening. Really establishes Landa's character and the threat that he poses, and that he will continue to pose throughout the movie. And of course, we get Shoshana's tragic start to her story. And there are many times in the film that call back to this opening.
Est-ce la propriété de Perrier-Lapadite?
Je suis Perrier-Lapadite.
C'est un plaisir de vous rencontrer, Monsieur Lapadite. Je suis le colonel SS Hans Landa. Colonel SS Hans Landa, mademoiselle, à votre service. Les rumeurs qui circulent dans le village au sujet de votre famille sont tout à fait fondées. Monsieur Lapadite, vos filles sont toutes plus jolies les unes que les autres.
Merci.
I think it's Tarantino's best, and I think that it tells such a great story, and he gets some really great performances out of this film, and Christoph Waltz in particular. I think he won the Oscar for this, and rightly so, for Best Supporting Actor. And yeah, just that opening, it is chef's kiss. So good. So that's my number 2 pick.
Yeah, I think even Tarantino cynics like this one, so it does
Yes,
tend to
yes.
be up there for them, for the people who don't normally like his films.
Yeah.